Welcome to The Watching Dead, the officially unofficial podcast for The Walking Dead on AMC. I'm Jim.
And I'm Aaron.
And tonight we're covering Season 4, Episode 14, entitled The Grove. We were pretty harsh on this one through the instant cast, I think, at least on certain aspects.
I deny that.
Okay, well, our audience would not deny it, certainly. But I'm with you. I think we were harsh on certain aspects of it. Mm-hmm. We were very, very praising of other aspects.
Sure.
Some of this episode was the absolute best stuff I've seen in Walking Dead, honestly.
Yep.
I mean, Clear is another one that we talk about all the time, and this is right up there with it as far as the performances from Melissa McBride and Chad Coleman. I think those are outstanding.
Certainly, we had some of the better we had some of the better performances with those two. We also had about the best way you could tie this plot up into a neat little bow from Scott Gimple. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to go to the spoiler section to hear my detailed thoughts on this, because there's a lot of some of my issues with how this goes on. You might not be might be stem from like I said on Instant Cast, my preference for the way the comic book handled it. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they're ever going to revisit anything like this, but I'm not going to take a risk at someone bitching at me. So I'm going to throw that, my overall problem with the direction the storyline took in the spoiler section.
Okay.
But, honestly, I think it was fine. It was well written. Certainly the last third of the episode was gripping as hell. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of people that were praising aspects such as the performances of the little girls and the way they were reacting and writing, and I just can't get behind that, man.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely with you there.
The cast, the episode that Lori Grimes died, we were all primed for it. We had the Fiesta cast, and then when it came, and we got the burritos and sombreros and the music going, we were kind of bummed, because they wrote her a really good exit.
Yeah, and she did a stellar job performing that part.
And the human drama involved in a mother sacrificing herself to deliver her baby, and her son having to put her down to keep her from being a zombie, and Sarah Wayne Callies and Chandler Riggs' performance going for broke was really good.
Oh, yeah.
But Lori Grimes' character was still largely bullshit.
For sure. We did not turn around on that.
That's the thing I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, Carol and Tyrese's reaction to the deaths of these children, which is a compelling thing, is what made the episode.
Yeah.
And the episode could have been astronomically, stratospherically good if the buildup of these characters was more than what it was. If these characters were consistently written from the beginning and consistently performed in the beginning, and they had better direction, because the two episodes they're in, unfortunately, two rookie directors. The guy that directed this episode is a camera guy. He's a camera operator. He's been a camera operator all his life. He got promoted just this season to second unit director of photography. Mm-hmm. So now he's dipping his toes in cinematography, and they're like, hey, we got this really emotionally heavy, complex episode. Let's let the rookie handle it. What the fuck? What the fuck?
All right, maybe you're being a little harsh on the guy, but I didn't think the directing in particular was bad. I mean,
it's not his fault. He didn't make that call.
What do you mean?
Like, if I was put in my work to do, like, I can't even give a good example. If they brought me into work to write a fucking operating system in Ruby,
okay,
I would do a shitty ass job
because you don't have any of the tools. And
people could say, "What fucking idiot wrote this program? It doesn't even work. It doesn't even try to work. It won't even compile." And they're right.
Yeah.
But it's not my fault. It's whatever project manager assigned me for that.
Okay.
So it's like,
so it should have been like Scott Gimple in there on this one.
I don't know.
I mean, this is a pivotal episode for sure.
Right,
for
and the
these
fact that it
characters.
worked as well as it did speaks a lot about the script and a lot about the other performances, and the fact that I think this Michael Stratezimis,
Okay.
Camera operator in Super Mario Brothers the movie, by the way.
Oh, fantastic movie! I love that movie.
Exactly. It's like I think that for a rookie outing, he did a lot of things right. But I'm going to point out some awkward edits that I think are a direct result of not having the kind of footage they need to make good edits.
Okay. I think so. The only part where I really had a problem with the direction was probably with the girls themselves. I think Mika actually on second watch was fine.
No, she's fine.
Don't have a problem with her.
She is fine. She's not great. She's not terrible. She's fine.
It was the lack of any sort of shades of gray at all in Lizzie's performance. It was I'm either screaming at the top of my lungs about how you've just murdered my friend the Walker, or I'm doing nothing.
But there again, a good director.
I understand that. Yeah, that's the complaint I have with
would
the
sit
direction.
there and say, "Whoa, this material."
Sure, but at
need
that
to
point, can
rework
you even do that?
And
like, how long do they
but
have in their
then-
shooting schedule, stuff like that?
Look, they shut down for 4 fucking months in between the first 8 episodes and the last 8 episodes.
Sure.
They had plenty of time to rework the script. If they didn't, day of, a talented director.
The problem wasn't the script, though. It's not that, like
Yes,
it was in this early
yes,
stage.
it was. You
I
can't
don't
write
think
that
so.
script for that talent. You can't. And then if you did I think that on
Did
the
they
day
know that
of,
though?
Again,
They haven't had anything like this for those girls to do yet.
Well, if you're going to play devil's advocate, I mean, I'm just stating my opinion. The second thing is, I think that on the day of, when you see that this isn't working, you pull it back a little.
Yeah.
Don't go like screamo.
Mm-hmm.
Play more haunted. Play quieter. Look at I think the perfect example, which, by the way, Miss Charbino was also in True Detective. They had a really difficult scene with a girl that was troubled with some very difficult material, and I'm trying desperately not to spoil. And this little girl, when it was time for her to perform, they played her just quiet, scared little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they needed the heavy reaction of her crying, they pivoted behind her and showed her parents' reaction.
Yeah.
And their parents sold the shit out of the scene, which elevated her performance. There's a lot of tricks you can do to work your way around these problems. They just fucking threw her out there with no safety net, and that sucks.
The other big, I want to get all of this negativity and problems out of the way right away, so we can get into the script and talk about what we liked. The only real other problem I had with this episode is, and people will try to defend this, but I don't think there is a character in Lizzie. I think she is just a psychotic, and that is not interesting in any way.
Right. Which is a lot of the other, when we get to feedback, a lot of people are like, don't you guys understand she's mentally ill? No, yeah.
No, we don't get why, though. Did the world break her? Did something happen to her in her past? We weren't shown any of that.
Yeah.
And if you want me to understand why she's crazy and maybe empathize with her a little bit, you got to give me some.
And saying a character's crazy cannot wave away every problem that character has. It's just because that, it just, I feel like that statement should be enough. It's it's fully evident, full stop.
Yeah.
You cannot say, well, I didn't understand this thing about the performance. Well, the character's crazy. Mm-hmm. Well, her motivation in this scene seems to be a lot different than the other scene. Well, her character is crazy. Okay, well, her reaction here seemed a bit. Well, her character's crazy. You can say that about anything.
Sure, yeah.
She could have fucking whipped out a communicator and beamed up to the Starship Enterprise, or gone, and it's like, the character's crazy.
Uh-huh.
So it's like,
that was just in her head. She's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that blanket response, and it's waving away any problems that might be there with.
But it sucks because I feel like we're already spending way too much time on the negativity, because the stuff in the episode that was good was really, really good.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And it's just a shame. And I get it. There's a lot of people that didn't have a problem with the performance. Great. I'm glad. I did. And I can't not say it, man.
Yeah,
I didn't get to where...
Sure.
We didn't get to where we are by just being like, well, I don't get it, but we'll just sweep that under the rug.
No way. That's not what we're here to do. You know what we are here to do is do a recap of this freaking episode.
First... A lot of people have been really jealous about Daryl's vest with the wings on it.
Oh yeah, me included.
Very cool. We've got a guy, Richard from ScreenMonsters.com, that has made some replicas of those.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to give us a set to give away to you fine folks. And we're going to have a contest at in between, the traditional pimping spot, in between the recap and the feedback, where we'll talk more about that.
So, okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's get right into the recap then, after 10 minutes of talking.
Also, are we going to talk about Walker Stalker Con Chicago?
Not right here. If anything, we're going to drop it in at the very end.
After feedback?
After feedback, before spoilers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to give people
their
fast-forward material.
Sounds good. All right, so we start off this episode with Lizzie playing tag with the zombie outside. Great scene here. Very
awesome.
Intense, very suspenseful, very creepy. With
yes.
the music that's playing in the back and the boiling pot of water, you can just see that things are building to something
and the
bad.
fact that it's, and the way they did it kind of slow-mo gave it a very dreamlike quality.
Yeah.
And you first think it's like, okay, this is kind of an idyllic setting and kind of down-homey, and then, oh, shit, a girl is running. Oh, shit, she's running from a zombie. And then, oh, shit, she's playing fucking tag with that zombie.
Yeah.
That is a fucking phenomenal scene.
The construction of that scene is really, really well done.
Yes. Yeah, and again,
and the atmosphere of it is just amazing.
Kudos to Michael Satrazimus. Satrazimus.
I can't see his name, or I'd tell you how to say it properly.
I don't know that you could. Michael
Okay,
Satrazimus. Because that was a really, really sweet shot.
Yep. And then we go to the intro, and then when we come back, Carol and Lizzie are talking about parents and children, I guess, and keeping each other safe while she kind of keeps guard over the rest of the group. Tyrese, who's sleeping in the train tracks. Sleeping on the train tracks.
Oof.
On... Why?
You got one of the hardest substances known to man, which is a train track. I mean, people use
I thought you were going to say Chad Coleman.
Chad Coleman's skull. Clearly, it's the hardest. But
Yeah.
a train rail, people use those for like makeshift blacksmith anvils.
Yeah.
They're tough as fucking nails. Why you would pick there to sleep on? But it made a cool. It made a cool shot again. Because that's something you just wouldn't do in this world. You'd fucking get ran over by a train.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that in the shithole Terminus world.
Not at all.
Did you think... I noticed a urgency in Lizzie to get to Terminus. She seemed to be overly concerned about it. Overly concerned about whether to be kids there.
Sure.
Do you think she had some kind of Mad Pied Piper plot from the beginning?
Pied Piper plot to what? Lead the kids away from, or turn the kids to her side, or like,
well, or to the undead in this case. Like she kind of
lead all the kids away to get eaten by zombies.
She'd want to do it with like Lizzie or Mika and ass kicker
Judith,
Judith.
Uh-huh.
But she's like a little bit too emotionally attached to them, so she kind of. I feel like these are the experiments that are leading up to this terrible thing that she's had planned for maybe a while.
Okay.
Although the way this episode's shot, it seems like this is something that just comes to her. But I don't.
Yeah.
There's several scenes where she's weirdly insistent about, well, we're not staying here, right? We're still going to Terminus, and wondering if there's little kids there. I don't know. Maybe she's hoping that there will be little kids there and she can be less of a freak.
Yeah, maybe.
That's also possible.
I mean, now it's just her and her sister, right? And she left a whole group of kids over at the prison, so maybe she's just eager to get back in with some friends or something. I don't know. Maybe she'd be a little more normal if she was.
Nice contrast. First of all, they mentioned Sophie, which has been it's been a long time since we've heard her, and a lot of parallels that Carol puts up and the episode does between Sophia and Mika in this episode.
Oh yeah, with her, not having a mean bone in her body or whatever, and that was what got Sophia killed in the first place. So, not looking good for Mika at the beginning of this episode.
Yep.
And then you can really see like the bond that has developed between Lizzie and Carol this episode throughout the season, because she gives her a hug before she goes to sleep, and they're talking very honestly. And
Would you miss me when you kill me, ma'am?
Yeah. So that's also, foreshadowing for what she has to do later. Then Tyrese,
What'd you think about her calling Carol ma'am?
I think it's the next best thing to mom. I think
Really?
she wanted to call her mom, but Carol had already put the squash on that last few episodes.
It felt, to me, it's interesting you had that because I had the opposite reaction. I thought it was kind of cold.
Huh.
And I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be or not. Like, ma'am.
Well, maybe after she
she
squashed her on mom, she was like, "Oh, okay, I'll call you ma'am."
That's true, but
I mean, in a cold way, like she
I
backed
get it.
off
No,
completely
I get
from
it.
mom. And,
It just made Carol seem more like a governess throughout this episode, and I thought that was a curious decision. But
that's what she wanted to be back in the prison, right? I mean, she told her not to call me mom. I'm not your mom. I'm just trying to help you survive here.
But was that?
But it doesn't seem like that's a
Was
relationship
that to
they have
protect
now.
Carol or protect the girls? I never really was sure about that.
Probably to protect Carol, I think.
Really?
She may not want to get involved, yeah.
I
mean, she certainly has some guilt, I think, over what happened with Sophia.
Well, I
still.
wonder if she did that because she knew she was responsible for the deaths, and she knew that might blow up in her face, and she was not wanting these girls to, imprint on them as their mother, knowing that she had taken this big risk for the community.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, it just, I mean, they hugged and all that, but I just thought that every time I heard her say ma'am, I was just like,
All right, let's talk about Tyrese real quick because he's having a nightmare, obviously, and he wakes up and he's staring right at Carol as soon as he opens his eyes.
It's the waking nightmare that everyone has. Oh my God, I'm on Walking Dead.
Oh, God. Am I on the wire? No, shit, I'm not. So this is obviously foreshadowing the dreams that he later tells Carol about. This is one of the dreams that he's having about Karen, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get there. So then we see Carol using tree sap to treat Tyrese's wounds. And
Not sure about the medical efficacy of that, but okay. We'll let Dr. Carol medicine woman do her thing.
So they talk about Lizzie's confusion about the walkers as well, which, I don't know, all of this stuff at the beginning is set up for all the stuff that plays out later.
But I want to point out here, one of the problems I had, and nothing to do with Miss Charbino's performance. Mika innocently says, "Yeah, you're not even grossed out by dead rabbits," and Lizzie looks sharply at her like,
"Oh yeah,
the fuck
I was
you
getting
say?"
that.
Like she's nervous,
Yeah.
and
I can't believe you would tell them that.
yeah, like, and keep that in mind later on when she expresses total confusion about why Carol might be mad at her at the end.
Yeah,
Like if you're a mentally ill person and you're a psychopath, you don't have a good handle on empathy.
yeah.
So this is one of the
So
problems.
the concept that I could get in trouble for having killed mice
and
may not occur to her.
rats. Yeah, I mean, again, this is if this was over several episodes, maybe that could be used to illustrate the slide. But she breaks bad in this episode, so that's
Sure.
one. That's just one thing that I was like, that's really weird choice.
Yeah. In that scene, they also smell a fire in the background, which we will find out more
Smells
about
like
later.
corn mash and redneck. Oh God.
And privileged farm girl. How about that? Rich farm girl.
Oh, Jesus. Smells like a poncho that reeks of urine and sweat. Oh, my God. What's
And a
going
bag
on?
full of cash and jewelry.
That has a smell?
Apparently, yeah. So Lizzie plays I Spy with Tyrese, and they spy a walker coming down the tracks. Not a good omen. I mean, this is death walking down the tracks toward them. That's very, very bad.
Walker's saying, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can.
But he can't. He falls over. He
cannot.
loses a leg. How did that happen? How did he get stuck there on the ground? Because he's clearly walking down the tracks, right?
Wasn't that like some kind of... I assume... I don't know if you've ever walked on tracks, Jim?
I have not, no.
I have. I grew up next to a fucking pair of train tracks in the woods.
Very worldly.
No, that's the opposite. It's very country. And so what'll happen sometimes is either this is going over, maybe this is kind of like a bridge. We didn't really get a good look at it. Or sometimes what'll happen is the ground gets washed out because the tracks are kind of built up on a mound. And if that happens, then the weight of the trains can kind of like break these ties. And sometimes a tie will be missing or be cracked, and you can really easily
Pull your
fall
leg
in
off?
between there. And like even if you're an able-bodied person, and that would be bad news. If you're zombies, game fucking over.
I didn't even see a leg, though. I thought it was
Really?
a
No.
bloody stump, but it can't be, right?
No, it was like, his leg was just way, it just like shot right down between
Okay.
the ties.
That makes
and
way
wedged
more
there.
sense. Yeah. I really like the music in this. This has kind of become a signature for me in The Walking Dead. Is this like this blown out kind of warbly sound that kind of builds behind like violins or something?
I was going to say that I think Bear McCreary has really found the voice for this in the last two seasons, because he hit these notes, and also at the end he hit the like, solitary piano notes of sadness.
Yeah.
That really added a lot to the scene where, Carol had to put...
Well, I mean, we're going to talk later about the connections between episodes. That was just the sound of Beth playing piano.
Right?
Just kidding. There was also a line here.
That smoke was actually all the candles she lit at that fucking house.
That was before the moonshine fire. There's a line that Lizzie says when Tyrese is about to, put a cap in this walker. She says, sometimes we have to kill them, sometimes we don't. So how does that jive with the idea that Lizzie is insane and Lizzie likes these walkers a lot? Well, we'll put it that way. I mean, she clearly knows that they're dangerous, right?
Right.
Because this one is not, and that means to her that we don't have to kill it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a good handle on what she thinks is dangerous versus not dangerous.
Okay.
Because she clearly thought like the walker coming at that she was trying to lure away from Glenn was not dangerous until it was, and she started screaming.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't think that the walker playing tag with her was dangerous at all, to the point that she would stop and turn her back to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very questionable. I don't understand what her judgment is there.
But also, why does she think it's not dangerous? Because she was very close to just letting herself be bit by one. I mean, what is she afraid of? She kills her sister to turn her into a walker. Is she really afraid of these things?
Yeah, that's interesting. Why wouldn't she want a walker to be walking around to kill potentially other people if she's okay with becoming a walker herself? But she's not really okay with becoming a walker herself, because she never does it.
Yeah.
She tempts it. She says, maybe I should become a walker, or maybe I should just let it...
Again,
I should
think
change.
that it would be interesting to have a child see the walkers as something constant and dependable and strong, versus the humans that are unreliable and they let you down and they abandon you and they die, and prefer the company of them. But that would be a consistent motivation that you would think would inform all their actions. Here it's like they want their cake and eat it too. They want, to preserve the illusion that this young lady is normal for as long as possible, to get the emotional haymaker on Carol.
Yeah.
But also have her be weird and crazy and creepy. Mm-hmm. And again, for me, I know I work for a lot of people, but for me, that was a hang up for me.
Okay. So in the next scene, Carol tells Mika that she has to toughen up. Unfortunately, Mika doesn't want to. And just as Carol is about to make a good point to her, they stumble upon a house, which Mika takes as proof of her point that everything is going to work out exactly how it's supposed to. Unfortunately for Mika, she has to learn the hard way later on.
Yeah, my mom says everything works the way it's supposed to. Oh, yeah? Well, where is your mommy? How'd things work out for her? Carol missed a golden opportunity to roll tough on little toe-headed Mika here.
Yeah. It's okay. On their way back to or into the cabin.
Oh God. I can't wait till we get to the planarium worms. I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay. They go into the cabin, or they're headed toward the cabin, and they see smoke from Daryl and Beth's moonshine house fire, and they apparently think that subsisting entirely on pecans is a viable option.
Hey, man, I fucking love pecans.
Loving pecans
Pecan
and living
pie,
pecans are two different things.
Candied pecans. You could.
Okay, you
it'd
can't
be-
make a pie out of just pecans.
It would be more than a week before I'd start bitching about an all pecan diet. Let's just put it that way.
All right, until your shits turn runny and brown, runny and green. That'd be disgusting.
But then again, if I was the adult in the situation, I wouldn't give a gun to a 7-year-old and tell him to shoot a fucking deer. I'd just bag it myself and say, "You can get the next one, kid."
Yeah, especially the first deer, right?
So I'd have pecan. I'd have venison and pecan on the side. I think
Okay.
I can make that work for a long time.
Sure. No, I think so. So Carol and Tyrese go inside the house to clear it, and they leave Mika and Lizzie outside to fend for themselves with baby Judith. And a walker comes out another door.
Lizzie's like, excellent.
A walker comes out another door, and Mika saves both of them.
Hilariously.
And then Lizzie counts the flowers.
You and I are both big fans of the zombie pratfall. When the
it was
zombie goes
fantastic.
towards something at thigh level and just ass over tea kettles.
And that stuntman committed.
That's what we said when we watched it. It's like, Jesus Christ, that stuntman, whatever he's getting paid is not enough. Because he made no effort to protect himself.
No,
Very
that's what
convincing.
I love to see that stuff.
Oh, it's so good.
Because that's the reality of this
Hell
type
yeah.
of creature.
Yes.
They don't give a shit about pain. They're going to break their neck if they have to get to you.
They're like the honey badger. They eat only way more uncoordinated.
Yep. You don't know that. Maybe the honey badger is very uncoordinated.
Probably. I know the honey badger gets bit by a snake and venomous snake and just goes to sleep for a while and then wakes up, goes into a coma, wakes up and finishes killing the snake. I think that's a zombie for you.
So this is probably the first instance, I think, of the acting letting me down in this scene specifically. I think everything up until now was adequate or above. I didn't really appreciate what Lizzie was doing in this scene, honestly.
Okay, so she was frozen with fear until Mika started shooting, and then she started going, no, 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 like she didn't want it to be killed.
Yeah.
So again...
We know that she was just, worried about the walker there in that situation.
Was she?
It's hard to say because when that walker comes over the fence, she backs off like it's a dangerous thing.
And when she's on the ground, it's coming towards her. She seemed frozen in what I would describe as fear. But then she started screaming, no, no. If she really thought it was not a danger, it seems like she would grab the baby and get up and walk away. To me, they played that scene, and I don't know if it was written that or if that's his direction, as Lizzie frozen in fear, didn't know what to do.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
That, to me, doesn't speak to a consistent character motivation, even a crazy one.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what else to say about it. Carol and Lizzie crack some pecans. Mika finds a doll, and Tyrese relaxes in the lazy boy. First time Tyrese is relaxed in a while. He really enjoys it. He's out like a light, too.
Yep.
This doll that Mika finds is named Griselda Gunderson. Does that have any significance whatsoever, or is that just a random made-up name?
I have no idea.
Okay. I tried to look it up. I didn't find anything.
Well, there you go. So. If Google doesn't know, then who does?
All right. And then Mika suggested they should live here.
Sure. Why not?
All the pecans you can eat.
They seem pretty careless here. They made a big point about how they're not going to fix the fence because that's how the deer are getting in. Mm-hmm. So we're going to leave the fence gaping open, but then Carol says, we'll just play it really careful. Flash forward to them sitting before a roaring fire with them walking to and fro in front of windows that aren't barred. They're not even have the drapes closed.
Throughout this whole episode, there's a disregard for attracting walkers.
Like I get okay, we can hole up here for a couple days, weeks, or even longer. But I don't know, man. Carol's a badass, and Tyrese, they want us to think he's a badass, despite all evidence to the contrary. Mm-hmm. Why aren't they doing a little bit more here? It's like, why are they have a big roaring fire? Just you can crack nuts in darkness.
Okay.
Are you worried about fucking zombies, or aren't you?
I at this point, I don't think they are, because in the very next scene, Carol sees Lizzie playing with one, playing tag, and she runs out and kills it. And then Lizzie freaks the fuck out, screaming at the top of her lungs, which didn't like this performance either. But Carol doesn't stop her and say, shh, You're going to attract walkers. Let's go inside or something. She just lets her scream her lungs out for a minute and a half.
Well, and they just had fired gun. They just fired guns several times in the previous scene, which is a dinner bell call to walkers. That they established that. That was a big concern in season 2.
Huge. Yep.
Justifiably, because it brought a whole fucking horde down on them.
Yep. And now they seem to have lost that care. There is no care for noise of any kind.
There's over 10,000 CGI generated walkers, a stone's throw away from them. But still, they have this. People that have survived this long in this world should have an institutional memory of what to do and not to do.
And they do. That's the thing. We see these survivors constantly doing things that they've just been ingrained to do, like hanging up cans on strings for
So I guess some people would say it's more interesting to see them let their guard down and try to recreate a family life than it is for them to constantly stay on battle alert all the time. I don't know that that's true.
There might even be a balance you could reach where they want to settle down. They want to let go of it, but the last 2 years have forced them into not being able to.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, let's move on. We can talk about that all day, I'm sure. Actually, before we leave this scene, there's one more thing.
We're still talking about Lizzie playing tag with the zombie.
Okay. Sure. You want to say something else?
I thought that the performance here that Melissa McBride gave was really sublime, and that you can see that Carol doesn't want to believe she's dangerous. Like, she looks really hard at Lizzie.
Yes, I was going to.
And then she shakes her head like, no, like,
or she just doesn't know what to do about it. Maybe.
But I thought it was clear. Like, there's the idea is like, this person needs to be. I have to do something about her, and then like she had this. I don't know, man. I maybe I'm putting too much on the performance, but I saw this clear, like, dawning horror, and then the solution, and then, like, shaking her head, no, I can't do that. I think,
okay.
And this would make sense with what later Carol says about how I should have seen it coming, I did see it coming, but I didn't do anything about it, and the guilt that she feels. That's what I got, and granted it was a second viewing, but I was really looking at her performance, and she was just on fucking fire this episode.
Oh, yeah. So then Carol takes Mika hunting. They spot a deer, but Mika can't shoot it. And it's okay, though. It's okay. They have peaches.
Plus, I hate to tell you,
and that is all you get, Mika. That is all you get.
Peach pecan. Pecan to peaches. I hate to tell you, Mika, you wouldn't hit shit holding the gun like you were. So you could fire it away, but...
yeah, that's... She wasn't looking at the sights.
I think Mika's a little bit much because she's going about like, I love science class. I know the difference between black smoke and white smoke. White smoke's what you get when they pick a pope. But then...
when they burn the old pope. What?
But then when you get to the, like, she's like, I can't even kill a planera or whatever the hell. You know what these are, like, almost microscopic creatures. You cut them in half in biology, and if you do it right, they grow back. They can grow into two halves.
Yeah.
Like, really? And this girl in this world is going to talk about feeling bad about cutting up a almost microscopic worm. Like, at least give me a bullfrog. I could never dissect a bullfrog.
I think she's a little young for a bullfrog.
By the way, if you're keeping a score home, this is a nitpick.
All right. Yes. Yeah, it is. My question is, how old is this girl? Right?
Who knows?
She's
7.
Probably a couple years younger than her sister, at least
7, 8, and Mika's like or Lizzie's like 11.
So I buy most of Mika's performance here because it's a little naive, but I think that's just a kid's perspective. Like, they don't truly understand the danger that some people can pose. And the idea that, yes, it was a group of people who took out the prison hasn't really struck her in the same way that it struck everyone else.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, and as far as...
I just think she's a kid being a kid, whereas Lizzie's a little bit older and psychotic, and I can't figure out her motivation at all.
Yeah, and... You know, like I said in the Instant Cast, I ran into Brighton Charbino at the Walker Stalker Con, and she's a spitty thing.
Yeah.
And she's billed at age 11. I can only imagine Mika. She's probably like 3 years old.
In real life?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tyrese proposes that they stay in the cabin for good. And he says it's because he trusts everyone in that party, and he's not sure that he can find that anywhere else. this was good because we know that, after the Karen and David thing that happened, it is especially made good because Carol's the one who killed them. But after that event, Tyrese definitely has trust issues.
Sure.
Someone in the prison betrayed him in a very serious way, and now he doesn't even want to get back to people at this point. He only knows that he can trust the people he's with.
Mm-hmm.
So a very good scene there, I think. We go to Mika spotting Lizzie kind of walking out of camp from the barn.
Right.
And she follows her, and then she finds her feeding mice to rats on the tracks. And then when she confronts her, Lizzie almost feeds herself to the walker so she can change, but she's interrupted by burnt walkers from the woods.
And the Gimple did Mika no favors here with this dialogue.
What was it?
We were pretending things were bad. They are bad. They are. Bad things are being, and they are bad. Like, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Little George Lucasian in his
I just felt like there was a lot of repetition of dialogue. Like when Lizzie's pet walker is killed by Carol, she just keeps yelling, screaming, bent over, doubled over in anguish. You don't understand. You don't understand. You don't understand. You killed him. You don't understand. He was friendly. You don't understand. Like,
it's interesting.
Really?
It's interesting because Andrew Lincoln, when we were at his panel, like back in October, they seemed to prize that anguish emotion, that like super crazy ass in your face emotion.
I've never seen anyone in real life act like that.
Well, I mean, I can see where you would in this, but compare that with the performances that Melissa McBride and Chad Coleman put in this episode. These are not showy. These are not over the top, and they're some of the best shit we've ever seen. Same with Lenny Bruce. No, it's not Lenny
Bruce.
Morgan.
James?
Lindy James.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just I wonder if they're kind of just maybe wrong-headed in what they're going for in the show in general, and that they're going for like big when they should pull it back and go small.
Well, I've really felt like Clear, if not for having an excellent actor, would have been over the top. I think it's very easy to take that emotion that he brought to it over the top. Yeah.
But there again...
And he almost did. He was inches from it, but he pulled it back.
That's a great example of a character that's going through some psychosis, but instead of alienating us as an audience, it drew us in. And it's weird for me to say that because I know not everyone is alienated by these characters.
Sure. No.
But I just wonder how much of that is if you really could step back and examine it, how much of it is just Melissa and Chad selling the shit out of the true horror, which is a kid killing a kid, and then you having to put down a kid like a rabid dog.
Yeah.
That's heavy shit.
Very.
And they were able to bring it.
Oh yeah. Every single scene.
So hats off to them. It just, I mean, they, in my mind, saved the episode. Because you imagine if they didn't?
Oh yeah.
If there was just that
if the performances were even less than great.
Yeah.
Right. Just good. Just okay.
Yeah. Like, one commentator early on this season said that Walking Dead hasn't earned the right to play with the big boy toys. And they're talking about putting babies in jeopardy and things like that. Oh, that was when the Lizzie was trying to strangle little ass kicker. I think you'd have that charge all over again if Chad and Melissa were anything but excellent.
Yeah, you might.
Because it would just be exploitive for no good reason. There was no art to it. We didn't feel anything, but we felt something.
I mean, the build-up in this episode was fairly good. I thought, they kind of laid the groundwork for this happening and then built to it in a way that made not only that plot resolution meaningful, but also the resolution between Tyrese and Carol very meaningful. And I think without the former, you couldn't have the latter.
All right, so
we'll talk about that when we get there.
The zombie flambe is making his way up to the train tracks. The girls go screaming and running. Again, Lizzie gives every indication that she's afraid of these walkers.
I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that was their appearance. They are hideous
any
burnt
more or less
cinders.
hideous than the other zombies we've seen?
Yeah, well, that's a fair point.
I mean, that's the other thing. Like
when your jaw's hanging off and
that,
Yeah.
you know, maybe if a kid was raised by a pack of gruesome zombies, they might grow up thinking that they were not scary. But my experience with kids were just that the zombies have a tough road to hoe being their friends just because of how hideous and scary they are.
Oh yeah.
You know, crazy or not. So they're both screaming and running. Lizzie starts killing walkers.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What was her motivation in this scene?
So what does she say there?
You mean the next scene when she says, you have to stop him sometimes, but...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She just says that she had to help stop them.
Why?
And we don't know.
If they're no better, if they're better than humans...
If just a moment ago she was willing to let herself change, if just a moment later she's going to kill Lizzie to help her change...
She had a gun, she could have killed Carol and Tyrese and
or
then
to kill
herself,
Mika,
and they all could have been a zombie family.
Yeah.
That would have been really... I mean, that would have been fucking wild. And people misunderstand when I say things like that would be... I usually opt for like the interesting thing, you know, and if something was more interesting and less interesting, I don't really give a shit about the morality because, you know, these aren't real people.
Sure.
But I got called
fiction.
I got called very monstrous things in email about like my bloodlust towards Judith and all that stuff. And we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
But I just, again, it's like, I don't get that she has a consistent motivation. And then the end of the scene before they got to commercial is one of the most awkward edits I've seen in the whole fucking series, where it's like, she goes and hugs Carol and they all walk off up until I'm sure the point where they said cut. And I feel like as a direct result of the editor, like, Jesus Christ, there's no good ending beat here. And maybe I'm crazy, but
I didn't notice it, but
really, I just thought it was super awkward the way they had like 3 different cuts and then to them slowly walking off stage as they pan to black. I felt like cutting it, the scene immediately before that, not the scene, but the cut immediately before that would have been better.
Okay.
And I think that's, again, first-time director syndrome.
As far as the walkers go, the walker on the tracks specifically, they've done a lot of stuff, and we've talked about it in this episode with the fire from Daryl's moonshine party. They've made some interesting connections. We also talked about the other stuff with the group that found Daryl being the same group that was in Rick's house. So there's another connection here that's really interesting, or that's made that's very much more subtle than a giant plume of smoke in the sky. And that is the walker on the tracks is actually the same walker that Bob was hearing last episode when he couldn't sleep and was talking to Sasha. And we know that because, so in that episode, you can hear like the sounds that the walker is making, and I guess they use those same sound effects for this walker. So I guess they had just recorded, like filmed this episode and went back and put the sound effect into that old episode because you never saw that walker.
Right.
And Bob specifically mentions it sounds like he's stuck on something, which is kind of a cool connection.
Super cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
and way more subtle than a giant plume of smoke.
Sure.
So very cool there.
It's another way that ties the fact that these, I mean, the whole point I think they're making is these are all happening simultaneously.
Exactly. Yeah.
And again,
or very close in time.
It's worked at various levels, but I gotta respect the fact that they've kept these groups separate. That's a very interesting choice and a pretty brave choice on the writer's room. Something I think is going to serve them well in seasons to come if they can keep true to it. But yeah, that was I don't know. I liked it.
All right, I did too. Yeah, and apparently Ryan Thomas liked it as well because he's the guy who sent us in the email that detailed that. Although it was on Reddit, so I would have read it this afternoon anyway.
Other things,
but thank you, Ryan.
Let's go ahead and talk about the other things you talked about too.
Okay.
Like the fact that, because we had a question about, like, Michonne was shown pretty prominently seeing different paintings in the house that her and Carl were clearing. And what did she see? She saw
flowers,
a bunnies,
a blonde girl covered in blood,
And now we've seen, Lizzie was looking at the flowers when she died. The rabbits were savaged by her back in episode 402 or 410? 410?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the blonde girl covered in blood.
Yeah.
Mika.
All foreshadowing for this happening.
Not bad, Gimple.
Yeah, that's very cool. So I feel like they've stepped up their game in regard to that just a little bit.
Certainly. It's not quite a full package yet, but they're again, give a shit scale, they're giving a shit.
Yeah, and they are excising a lot of the Glenn Mazzara plot that we hated so much from the last few seasons. I think that's a fairly important thing for them to do moving forward. So Tyrese and... we go back to Carol, Mika, and Lizzie talking about kind of what it means to live in this new world. Carol here is talking about a very different thing than Lizzie is talking about, and they are both talking about a very different thing than Mika is talking about.
Yeah.
And this reminded me, it was very reminiscent of the scene from the last half season where the governor is talking to Rick, and they're both talking about the same events. They're just talking slightly differently about them, and the people that they're talking around have a different idea from the idea that Rick and the governor have.
Sure.
You want to say anything else about that?
Nope.
Okay, let's move on. When Carol agrees to stay in the cabin, Tyrese tells her about his dreams. This is a fantastic scene.
I dream about Karen. Not very good, Tyrese. Swinging a whiff.
We find out that Tyrese isn't ready to be around other people, which we kind of had already mentioned before.
Oh, Christ. McBride's acting here.
Yeah.
When she's got her back turned to Tyrese, and he is just twisting a knife in her gut.
Yeah.
And then the way... that's just... as a person who's not an actor myself, it's amazing that she can get that quality where her, breath is catching... when she's trying to reframe, was like, well, maybe they're not haunting us. Because Tyrese is saying, are we doomed to be haunted by the living?
Uh-huh.
She says, well, maybe they're not haunting us. Maybe they're teaching us. Maybe they're showing, they're giving us the kind of courage we need when we do the terrible things that we have to do.
Yeah, that's fascinating. The idea that the monsters are now helping them survive. That's just a very weird twist, and one that I like. It's interesting. So Tyrese has a gun in his hand in this scene because obviously they're out hunting. I don't know why they're both out hunting, leaving the girls alone by themselves. I mean, other than the plot requires it.
Yeah, that's another thing because the freeze tag zombie, we talked about it, how Carol was so close to putting it together.
Yeah.
I think she was close enough that maybe she wouldn't have left those kids alone.
I think leaving kids alone in a zombie apocalypse is a bad idea, period. Point blank.
When one of them is showing signs of mental instability.
And they have a baby with them.
The other thing is, when Carol came upon Lizzie and Mika earlier in this season, the second episode of this half season, do you think she knew that Lizzie was trying to strangle Judith?
I can't answer that. I just don't know.
I kind of assumed that she did and tried, just kind of got there in the nick of time, but maybe she didn't. But if she did, then maybe that's one more thing. I don't know. It does seem pretty reckless. Just like we said in Tyrese when in episode 2 where he left the girls there in the woods, in the middle of the woods to go save some random people. That's irresponsible.
And the idea that Carol is their protector at this point, and she's just going to leave them there?
Yeah, that's the thing where people I can't believe, Aaron, you want this baby to die. No. But if they're going to use it as a lame suspense engine, when I don't believe adults would actually put the baby in needless suspense the way they do, I don't think it's interesting, and I'd rather the baby die.
Okay.
I'd rather a fictional baby die than bore me with this bullshit there. If that makes me a monster, then I guess I'm a monster. Maybe Lizzie will stick up in my defense one day.
Maybe.
He's not bad. He's just different.
You can see
he just wants to be my friend. Don't kill A-Rod.
There's a moment in this scene where Carol almost reveals the truth to Tyrese. You can see it on her face. She's about to, but he's got a gun in his hand, and I think at that point, before he's had to make the decision about what to do with Lizzie, he kills Carol in that moment. If she tells him.
Oh, you know what? I don't know. I actually think that she didn't tell him just because she was overcome by guilt. Because he was basically...
I think it's both, yeah.
He was basically in an honest, unguarded moment telling her that she has done everything what she believes, but it still makes her feel guilty. I just think she couldn't... because it'd be, if she said, well, funny you say that, and just turned around, I just don't feel like the time was right. And
I agree with that, yes. But Carol, I think if she had, she's done for.
The thing is, Carol's moral strength is shown later on. Well, you know what? I'll save it for then.
Okay. Let's move on. Carol and Tyrese arrive back at the cabin to find that Lizzie has killed Mika, and Carol gets everyone inside and then puts Mika down before she can turn. Broke her promise to Lizzie.
Yeah, but the real crime was that joke she told about the beer nuts versus deer
Oh,
nuts.
true.
Yeah. Like, that's not ethical.
Especially not coming from an asshole like Ed.
And holy shit, Lizzie saying, I was just about to change Judith, and then Carol's like, but she can't even walk yet. And then her be like, again, if they'd done a better job of being consistent with her character, that would have been even more freaky than it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that was creepy. Back inside, Tyrese tells Carol about all the animals that Lizzie's been killing. So that stuff's put to bed.
Two together about all this stuff. And here is Carol's moral strength. Because she could easily just pin this death on Lizzie. And never would have risked confrontation with Tyrese because he was ready to do it. And Tyrese wasn't going to go off and kill her, obviously. Tyrese is very disturbed. But he's, rightfully so sympathetic about this child.
Yeah, he basically wants to have Carol take her or for him to take her and just kind of leave, separate the kids at that point, the baby and Lizzie.
And there again, I think Melissa did a really great job in this acting scene because you can see as she goes through the motions of trying to consider, well, maybe I'll just take her. But it's not just Judith she's a threat to. If I close my eyes in front of this girl, she could decide she wants to, change me.
Yeah.
There's it's the ultimate, the old man in the boat scenario where he's trying to get grain. He's trying to get a chicken, a bag of grain, and a wolf across the river. And she's doing the mental math, and she's realizing there's no combination this will work. She fucking did that with the power of acting in the space of 30 seconds and a little bit of dialogue. It's just really amazing.
I agree. There is one solution that might have worked, and it's a solution we've seen before. Why doesn't she banish Lizzie? Right?
What?
Yeah, banish Lizzie. Don't kill her, just leave her. That's exactly what Rick did with her. Why not?
Are you being serious?
I'm totally serious.
Too drunk to know whether
I'm
you're
totally,
being an
completely
asshole now.
serious. No.
That's cruel.
Oh, crueler than killing her.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I can't argue that.
Because she died not afraid and in no pain, whereas her dumbass in this world would have died screaming.
Yeah, probably so.
And that's if she's found by a fucking zombie. If she's found by some of those fucks that Daryl's with now, it could be a hell of a lot worse.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, you don't banish an 11-year-old, Jim.
All right, Rick might. So Carol takes Lizzie out to the field and kills her.
You didn't go before the council for approval of killing your sister, Lizzie. I can no longer trust you.
What if they get back up at Terminus together, all of them, and Rick finds out that she killed Lizzie and he banishes her again?
You are on double secret banishment, Carol.
If you come back again. So Carol takes Lizzie out to the field and kills her. This is the best scene in the episode, in my opinion. Followed very closely by Tyrese's dream scene. I like that there's no hesitation on Carol's part here. You could easily see her raising the gun and going, do I really want to do this? Is this the right thing? But Carol knows already it's the right thing. And Carol's had to do this tough thing before. And so she pulls up the gun, she cocks it, and she fires.
A little too of mice and men for you?
No, I mean, I enjoy when they get literary on it. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, everything is an homage to something.
And I can see this actually happening, you
Mhm.
know. Yeah, I'm not going to bum
I mean,
myself out.
if you want her to die not scared,
Right,
this is a good way to do it.
right.
I mean, she's already prone to looking at flowers,
Yeah.
so why not? And we know those calm her. Then we go back in to the house for another phenomenal scene where Carol tells Tyrese that she killed Karen and David and tells him why.
Wow. Yeah.
This is where I felt like Chad Coleman really shone in this episode, because before this, yeah, he was good, but he was kind of taking a back seat to Melissa McBride, but this is his scene.
He was fucking intense, man.
Yeah.
I don't know that this is true, but I got several emails, and I think I threaded on Reddit, whereas the puzzle that they were working was a puzzle of the actress that played Sophia.
Yeah, I think that was said on Talking Dead.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's true, yeah.
Nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like earth shattering or brilliant, but it was a nice homage.
Yeah, definitely. And as I was saying before, I think, before killing Lizzie and before understanding how dangerous Lizzie was, and having to make that decision himself, I think Tyrese would have killed Carol when handed this gun.
I liked Carol basically sliding the gun and letting go before she told the story, because that was her putting her life in Tyrese's hands.
Yeah, and I think she saw the pain that it caused her to have to do this deed. And Tyrese says as much. He says that he understands that Carol felt their deaths.
And
it wasn't something she just did calculating and coldly.
Yeah, he knows how much those girls meant to her,
mm-hmm.
and he saw that she did this for the greater good. And I think that it's almost like at this point for him irrelevant whether the facts of the matter were correct or not. But he's just basically like, I respect the fact that you do what you need to do to protect people.
Yeah.
And I might not agree with you and Karen and David, but the same person that killed Lizzie killed Karen and David. And it seemed like it was important for him to know whether they were afraid or whether they were in any pain, and that he saw kind of how relatively merciful that Carol did it with Lizzie.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And better that Carol killed them than Lizzie killed them, because she let him turn.
Well, sure. Although that's, I don't know how much that's actually a thing.
What do you mean?
Is being turned into a zombie a fate worse than death? It doesn't seem like there's...
I think you could make that case, sure.
But I think it's like the same it's the same impulse that makes people be squeamish about being an organ donor or donating their bodies to science.
Yeah, or worrying
about some physiological, psychological thing where there's part of you trapped inside this rotting hulk of meat. I don't see there's any evidence of that.
No, I'm with you. I don't think so.
It's more of a courtesy thing than it is a real thing.
It's like, what do you want to be done with your body after you die?
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
You're not going to care, but
some people,
there's still people who think about it while they're alive.
This is a metaphysical question more than, because sometimes I wonder if there is something to the whole, Poindexter's research about recognition in zombies' eyes and
sure.
Yeah,
and I mean that goes all the way back to Dawn of the Dead with Bub. I mean that's.
Or even
old the zombie movies themselves.
Or even the way they chose to portray Amy's being resurrected and Andrea talking to her is like there's a little bit of like, oh, and also why we're talking about Lenny James, what's his character's name? Morgan's wife, and coming back to the doorknob.
Mm-hmm.
That's stuff they used to play with.
I know.
They never do anymore.
Yeah, they don't really.
It's a shame, because that's another way they could get a little bit more horrific with it, a little bit more creepy. Because I do think that's one of the creepiest scenes in the whole series, her fucking trying that doorknob with her and her looking in the the peephole and Rick looking right back at her.
Yeah.
Still, kind of gives me shivers.
Very creepy. So then in the final scene, the group packs their pecans and they head off down the road. Down the tracks toward Terminus.
They did not abandon the baby.
Or the pecans. No, they did not abandon the baby. It was wrapped up on Tyrese's back. It's very obvious.
I think so. So here's the thing, and I'm going to defend myself one last time. Well, before we get to feedback. I don't think I'm a monster for saying that it's an interesting choice if they had left. Because people are like, well, that would have made those characters just spot. Yes, but that's interesting.
I don't dispute the fact that it might be interesting.
The thing is
I don't think it would ever happen.
I feel like they're using the baby like they used the USB flash drive in Revolution. It's humanity's last hope for whatever.
A MacGuffin?
Yeah, and it's like, so there's two ways because a baby's not fucking interesting.
No, there's nothing interesting about
Interview Judith about her character, and she will shit her pants and cry for milk, okay? It's not interesting. It's not.
No, you're right.
Set aside your emotion. I promise you I love children. I promise you I love my son. The baby's not interesting as a character. So she's only interesting in what she means to the group. She can be a symbol of hope and a MacGuffin that they're trying to protect. Mm-hmm. And, by the way, endanger needlessly and cause us, ringing the Pavlovian bell. And we all, as parents or people that are not, psychotic, get concerned about it. Or the baby can die, and that is also interesting and what that would make us